And we're back after I was so rudely interrupted last time by having to go to the hospital and figuring out that I have Asperger's. A strong wind blew against the classroom windows. It's lucky that it hasn't started raining again, but there are already signs that a storm is coming. According to the weather forecast, a typhoon... Is my mic recording? Yes, it is. According to the weather forecast, the typhoon will be passing through Kasugawa at about 10 o'clock tonight.
超大型の台風だそうだ。すでに西の方じゃ暴風雨の被害が出ている。というわけで、午後からは休校。寄り道せずにまっすぐ帰れよ。
I'm surprised you're even allowed to come to school at all in this. Everyone responds to the teacher's warning with a lively yes. Why is everyone so excited by this unplanned break from school? Because they're not at school. Oh yeah, you're right.
あんたね、子供じゃないんだから台風ぐらいではしゃぐんじゃないの。ほっといてよ。じいわき、肉踊るじゃない。
Kotalia turned to me and said, "Right, Howie?" like she was seeking approval. Well, it is pretty exciting. Okay, in the past, whenever a typhoon came, you don't get scolded for wanting to go outside. You'd hold out your raincoat and jump around pretending to be a flying squirrel, remember?
それは子供の頃の話でしょ。へえ、アゲハってそんな子だったんだ。昔はよ。今はもう大人ですから。
I don't know about that.
何よ。
Yeah, well, whatever. Let's get out of here. Now, I have to get back and fix that dilapidated old dormitory.
今度こそ飛ばされちゃうかもね。
Because of being hit by frequent typhoons, Flying Fish Manor had suffered a great deal of damage. Part of the roof was blown off, the walls were peeling, the rotten shutters were broken, and it was on the verge of collapse.
私も手伝いに行くよ。いつもお世話になってるしね。
Sorry to trouble you, but that would be a big help. Now that we were in our third year, we were in the same class again. It's not clear if it's a coincidence or if someone was being considerate towards us. Things didn't feel so new to me anymore. To be honest, I was really happy to be able to take classes with him again. As he went into the hallway and waited for the elevator, a voice called out from behind. Oh, hello there, Prez. That was Akali Kumai, the former vice president and now president of the student council. She became president a few days ago after the student council elections. Can we help you?
少し聞きたいことがあるの。あなた方、ソアリング同好会の皆さんに。
Hearing the president say it like that made us flinch on the inside.
何かしら?
Cuddly moves forward as our representative. She's also a leader, but in this case, just the leader of a society. However, she doesn't lose Takali in terms of having a resolute attitude.
ここじゃなんだから、生徒会室までご同行願えないかしら。
She glares in a mildly threatening way. Ah, crap, she'll definitely find out.
どうしよう。
We have a little secret that we don't want the student council president to find out about.
それは今じゃないといけないのかしら。外は台風だし、先生から寄り道せずに帰るよう言われたばかりなの。
Sound looks good now. Nice comeback, Cotley.
時間は取らせないわ。軽い質問にイエスかノーで答えてもらうだけでいいの。
Cotley can only groan at the president's "you know what this is about" attitude. At the moment, we were saved by the arrival of the elevator. Immediately pushed Cotley in her wheelchair through the open doors. Hook yeah. Sorry, President, but we're in a hurry, so we'll see you next time.
こら、待ちなさい。
If we don't hurry back, our old dormitory will fall to pieces. That part actually wasn't a lie, and I became quite defiant, then pushed the closed door button in the elevator.
明日、生徒会室に出頭するように。いいわね。
Kali's voice chased us through the gap in the closing doors. Kali picked some grass and threw it, and it danced through the air as it was blown by the wind.
ダメよ、ハット。外に出ちゃう。あんた太ってるけどチビだからきっと飛ばされちゃうわ。
Hey, stop playing around and come help. Came back in a hurry and got all the boarders to help the repairs. Strong winds had picked up momentum. Oh, and then they just stopped. Momentum since we left school, and howling winds were coming from the old dormitory.
ねえ、さっきのあかりさんの話ってやっぱりあれかな。
Gaia seemed worried as she asked. Maybe that's what it looked like.
どうするの？どうするもこうするもしらばくれるしかないでしょ。
Cuddly spoke quietly as she rubbed the top of her head. That had just been karate chopped.
だよね。
We had a secret. We'll be in big trouble if the uppity student council president finds out about it.
もしバレても堂々としてりゃいいのよ。あんたのその根拠のない自信が羨ましいわ。そんなことよりさ、台風の日って燃えるよね。血湧き、肉踊るよね。
Cuddly holds both hands up in the air in sheer excitement. She really is an odd one. I'm more worried that this old dormitory might get blown away. As I speak, I throw some of the repair materials down Cuddly's lap with a thud. Take these to Yuka and the others.
はーい、行くわよ、ハット。わあ。
Cuddly doesn't put up any resistance and heads towards the other boarders. She's changed a lot too in the last year. When I first came here, she hardly spoke to the boarders at all, but now she speaks to them normally. Back then, she was just obstinately making things worse. I think the way she is now is the real Cuddly. All the other boarders are such nice people. As soon as Cuddly started being herself, they accepted her. That's why these days Flying Fish Manor is so peaceful. Well, I'm done here. I was about to head to the next place when my cell phone rang. It must be serious. The music stopped. I checked it out on the display. It said Mom. Hello?
もしもし葵？私だけど
What's up?
台風来てるでしょ。大丈夫かなと思って。
Don't worry, everyone's helping me work on the repairs.
助かるわ。あんたが働き者で。
If that's how you feel, why don't you bump up my wages?
考えとくわ。
She always just leaves it at that.
ところで葵、相談があるんだけど。
Discuss, what's that? I just got the feeling that it was something bad, judging from her tone.
明日から新しい寮生が入るから。
Eh? Okay, surprised by me suddenly
とい
shouting
うわ
next
け
to
だ
her.
からよろしくね。
It's gonna be another cute anime girl. Wait, Mom, that's not a discussion, is it? The decision's already been made. What's going on? You can't just say all that you can't just say that all of a
急
sudden.
な話だったんだからしょうがないでしょ。部屋はあるんだから問題ないはずよ。
Can you hear the neighbor's dog barking? No, if you can't, it's not very loud. There aren't any we can use right away, though.
あったでしょ。2階の2人部屋。
That's... Without realizing, I
明日
panic.
からだから頼んだわよ。
Wait, she hung up on her end. If I call back, she probably won't
ど
answer.
うしたの？
I gasped anxiously while looking up at my stunned face from below. A new boarder is coming tomorrow. She told me to use the double room on the second floor, but...
ああ、そりゃまずいわね。
We have to move it by tomorrow. There's a storm outside. What are we gonna do? Large raindrops struck the window. The real storm will soon begin.
葵くん、2階の雨漏りする部屋どうしよう。
There's a blue sheet in the storeroom. Spread that out across it.
裏庭の水路の水がもう溢れそうになってるんだけど。
Just leave it.
ねえねえ、私の部屋の窓が飛んでっちゃったんだけど。
What? Are the shutters okay?
一応かろうじて。
Alright, close the shutters and secure them from the inside.
はいよ。
How did this building last so long? There are a lot of typhoons this year. This is the third time that Kazagawa has been hit so far. The first two caused extensive damage, and the third came just after we finished the repairs. That's how we ended up doing this repair work so frantically. I can kind of understand why the owner's son wants to get rid of this place. What am I thinking? I will protect the peace of Flying Fish Manor. While shouting that I don't see how anyone can be so excited about a typhoon, I went to repair the window in Kanago's room. Okay, I thought I had to close the game for a second there. I hit the wrong button.
留守かな。
Oh, it's gonna be you two. Darn.
風の音がうるさくて聞こえてないんじゃない？入っちゃいましょうよ。
でも
ここにいるとずぶ濡れになっちゃうでしょ。
そうだね。ごめんください。やっぱり留守なんじゃ。
すみません。誰かいませんか？
This crap, this isn't just a small leak.
あの
Get a bucket for now, we'll have to keep watch over it all night. Ugh.
すみま
聞こえてないわね。姉さん、もっと大きな声を出さないと。
せん。ごめんください。
無視されたわね。
There should be a big bucket here.
葵くん、葵く
No, what is that? I'm kind of busy right
ん、なん
now.
かお客さん来てるみたいよ。
Huh? Visitors? In the middle of a storm like this? Who could that be?
ごめんください。どなたかいらっしゃいませんか？本当に誰かいませんか？
それにしてもボロっちいわね。夜が明けたら跡形もなくなってるんじゃないの？
ごめんください。誰か出てきてください。
I went to the entrance where the Kanako and a girl was there. Actually, two girls. Or rather, twins. Look exactly the same. Tears in her eyes, but seemingly whispering something, one of the girls noticed me.
どうしよう。知らない人だ。
当たり前でしょ、姉さん。
May I ask who you might be? I guess it has been quite a while since we've seen them.
そのどうしよう、夜ちゃん。
They seem surprised that a boy would be in a girl's dormitory. The two girls, who seem really shy, stand there sheepishly, unable to say anything. Having said that, they do seem familiar. Huh? I remember seeing these faces before. Have I seen you somewhere?
何ですか？人の顔チロチロ見ないでくれます？
Sorry.
そんなに珍しい顔してますか？
No, it's not that. I feel like we met before. No, I remember. As I shout in a loud voice, one of the girls, for now I'll call her Girl A, jumped in surprise. You're the Curie girl.
カレー少女。
That was quite a long time ago, but she was the girl at the supermarket buying high-grade marbled beef for Curie.
何？知り合いなの？
It seems that I know her, but she doesn't know me. Why is the Curie girl here? Speaking of which, they're twins. Was the girl at that time Girl A or Girl B?
ねえ、あなたたちトビウオソウに何かご用？
I think they might be scared of me, Kanako. I think that they might be scared of me. Kanako steps forward and kindly asks them. Thanks for backing me up.
また知らない人だ。
そりゃ寮だからたくさん人はいるわよ。誰かに会いに来たのかな？
私たち今日からこちらに
住むことになってます。
Girl B jumped in to finish what Girl A was desperately trying to say. Now, hold on a second. What'd you just say?
ですから
ここに住むんだってさ。
Kanako speaks like it's got nothing to do with us. Ah, Girl A was frightened again by my loud voice.
風と朝です。
風と夜よ。
For the time being, I gathered all the boarders in the dining hall and got the two girls to introduce themselves. Seems that Asa, the timid one, is the older sister, and Yelu, the blunt one, is the younger sister.
朝と夜。あ、面白いわね。
Kotoi seems really impressed.
車椅子の人だ。
あの子、なんだかバカっぽいわね。風戸さんって、もしかして噂の天才姉妹じゃないの？
Genius twins, what are you talking about?
ほら、今年の春頃話題になったでしょ？すごい天才が入学してきたって。
How old are they?
おまけに双子で美少女姉妹。
Beautiful. I don't think they're beautiful.
それは。
Now that you mention it, there was a rumor about that. Guys in our class are making a big fuss about it. Not because they're geniuses, but because they're beautiful twin girls.
ほほう、天才とな。それはどのくらい？なんか入試はダントツのトップで、その後の授業でも天才ぶりを遺憾なく発揮し、飛岡先生が早速ロボット部にスカウトしたらしいわよ。この子たちがあまねちゃんよりも天才ですって？
Kylie seems to be looking at the two girls with a hint of nastiness in her eyes. Some strange thoughts must be going through her head again.
ねえ、そうなの？
違います。それは私じゃなくて、ヨルちゃんだけです。
So the older one takes a step back as if she's pushing her sister forward. Everyone looks at Yogi with curiosity, but
どうでもいいでしょ、そんなこと。
she said as she found this whole thing rather troublesome.
ヨルちゃんはすごいんです。きっと本当に天才です。
Drink break. Wait, Skype message. Mouse.
この子がね。言っておくけどね、あまねちゃんはすごかったのよ。食いしん坊のくせにお腹空いてるの忘れちゃうくらい集中しちゃうんだから。それはただのおまぬけさんじゃ。なんですって。
Alright, it doesn't matter, just be quiet. Try to calm down Kotogi, who's getting more and more angry. If I let her say what she wants, Samane will probably just sound like even more of a weirdo.
それより、私たちには自己紹介させて、そちらはないんですか
？Yeah, you're right. We went off on a bit of a pointless tangent there. Everyone pulls themselves together and introduces themselves one by one. Asa listened enthusiastically, whereas Yoru, it was like everything was going in one ear and out the other. Gia's not a boarder, but she introduced herself too. She often comes here, so if those two are going to live here, it's best if they know who she is. Then my turn finally comes around. I'm Aoi Minase, the dorm mother. Sorry if I scared you just now.
いえ、とんでもないです。
ここ、女子寮じゃないんですか？
Yeah, well, for various reasons, I'm doing the work of the dorm mother.
女子寮の寮母を男性が。それも、こんな若い人がするなんて。
She appears to be looking at me with suspicion.
葵くんなら大丈夫だよ。女の子に興味ないから。
Oh, thanks. What?
そうよね。これだけ女子に囲まれて生活してるのに彼女ができたこともないし。
かなちゃんは下着姿で歩いてると怒るくらいだもんね。きっと女嫌いなんじゃないかな。
Hold on a minute. Why are we talking about this?
じゃあ、あるの？
Of course I'm interested in girls.
葵、この子たち完全に引いちゃってるよ。
What? You got it all wrong. I'm interested in girls in a perfectly normal, healthy way, so I wouldn't do anything strange or inappropriate.
やっぱり他の寮にした方がいいんじゃない？姉さん。
I dig myself into more of a hole the more I speak. Then, as if sensing my predicament, a duck came walking into the dining hall.
アヒル？
At the moment, the twins turn their attention to Hat.
ちょうどいいところに来たわね、ハット。あんたも自己紹介しときなさい。わあわあ。ヨルちゃん、この子ちゃんと自己紹介したよ。かわいい。コールダックね。この寮ってペット可なんですか？
Well, actually, we're not, but...
ハット先輩はペットじゃないの。この寮に住み着いてるだけだから。いわば同居人ってわけ。
Twins look like they didn't really get it, but he's cute, so they just kind of accepted it. Why'd you come today? I heard you were coming tomorrow.
それは...
So I was acting nervously?
一人暮らしできると思ったら、いても立ってもいられなくて。不動産屋からは部屋は今すぐ使えるって聞いたわ。
Oh. Totally again. I had troubled looks on our faces, and the other boarders look kind of awkward. Right now, due to the typhoon, there are leaks and various other problems.
見た目だけじゃなく、中身もボロなのね。姉さん、やっぱり他の物件を探そうよ。でも、すぐ入れる部屋は他にないっておじいちゃん言ってたし。じゃあ家に帰りましょう。それは嫌。
said Elsa emphatically. She seems to be quite strong-willed. Why was it suddenly decided that you'd come live in our dorm? It's early July. If you're planning to move into a dorm, now isn't the best time.
姉さんが急に家を出たいって言い出して、それで部屋を探してもらったのよ。最初は学校にできた新しい寮に入るはずだったんですけど、部屋が空いてなくて。
No, that one. Cody and Again and I all had slightly grim expressions on our faces. This year, Keifu Academy built a new student dormitory. It was built at the back of the school, in other words, on the site of the Soaring Club's garage. The truth is that the school had been planning to build a dorm for a while, and the garage was in the way. That's why a group of teachers, starting with Tobioka, wanted to have the Soaring Club status revoked. The new student dorm had an influence on Flying Fish Manor, too. Due to there being a delay in determining the land that would be used for the student dorm, the importance of a small place like Flying Fish Manor was recognized. However, since the new dorm was built, the school seems to want to end its agreement with Flying Fish Manor. An external dorm, which the school can't keep a close eye on, can cause plenty of worry, it would seem. However, the rent here is cheap, and it's because the owner runs the place almost as a hobby. That's why, even though the new dorm was built, Yuka and the others decided to live here instead. All things considered, not just the former members of the Soaring Club, but everyone here has mixed feelings about the new student dorm. Boy.
それでおじいちゃんの昔の知り合いに相談して、ここを紹介してもらったのよ。
So does this mean that my mother and your grandfather know each other? Maybe that's why my mother suddenly told me that they would be coming tomorrow?
何でもすごく頼りになる方だと言ってました。
Did he?
うちのおじいちゃん、慶風学園の理事だから。
I see. What?
ヨルちゃん、そういうことは。いいのよ、先に言っておいた方が、後からバレるより。
Your board members' granddaughters?
正確には理事長ね。
Boarders kind of murmur as they hear such a powerful sounding
と
title.
いうわけだから、部屋を見せてもらえないかしら。
That's...
すぐに入居できるんでしょ。
There's a really bad leak. Also, we thought you'd be arriving tomorrow, so it hasn't been cleaned yet.
すみません、急に来ちゃって。いいわ、とりあえず見せてもらいましょう。状況を見て一度帰るかどうか考えるから。
No, that's why I said...
怪しい態度。何か隠してます？
This girl is smart.
姉さん。
Twins ignore me as I start to panic and head towards the room. Must have heard the room number from my mother.
やばいよ、葵。なんとかして引き止めないと。あの態度の悪い方、ムカつくわね。相手は理事長の孫だよ。見つかったらやばいって。
Ah, you're right. I can't think of any way to stop them. Anyway, I'll be right back.
ビ臭くない？ちょっとだけ。でもきっと雨が降ってるからだよ。そうかしら。古いせいだと思うけど。それに台風でギシギシいってる。壊れちゃうんじゃない？そうかも。やっぱりやめようよ、こんなところ。うちの方がご飯も美味しいし、おじいちゃんだって。あ、この部屋だ。あれ？何これ。なんだろう、これ。これもしかして。
As I reached the second floor, the two of them were standing there, staring blankly at the glider inside. We're just looking after this.
雨漏りなんてしてないじゃない。
Oh, you're right. It looks like someone fixed it, I guess.
これを隠すために嘘をついていたのね。
Yeah, that's right. Quickly owned up to it. It seems like there's no use lying to this girl.
でもどうしてこんなものがこんな場所にあるの？だってこれグライダーですよね。
So you know what it is. I forgot the situation for a moment and accidentally answered their question. Also, I was rather sloppy happy as I did so. Gliders are a little-known form of transportation, and not many people have actually seen one. If you see a plane without an engine, you can just kind of assume that that's what it is. Not only that, this one is currently dismantled.
だって私これもしかして学校から盗まれたやつじゃ。
葵くん、大丈夫かしら。
さあどうだろう。今更ながら良かったのかな、あんなことしちゃって。
しょうがないじゃない。ああでもしなきゃ博物館行きだったんだから。そしたらもう二度と取り返せなかったかもしれないのよ。あのグライダーは私たちがあまねちゃんから受け継いだものなのに。
だよね。
I thought she was going to say something else.
ねえ、どうなの？
As he always seems to find my attitude even more unusual, she becomes more determined to find out the truth. Back then, when the soaring club was shut down, the garage was forcefully taken down from us and demolished. The glider wasn't inside. It had been moved somewhere else. After that, the school had it put in a storeroom. We wanted to get it back quickly, but since there was no way we could fly it and we didn't have anywhere to put it, we kept quiet and let the school take care of it. Then a few days ago, we heard some surprising news from certain sources. The school is trying to have the glider donated to the city museum. This glider was made by the old members of the club, and an original aircraft like this is extremely rare in this country. Therefore, it has a value as something to be collected by a museum. To the school, it was seen as a waste of storage space, and they wanted to dispose of it. If it had gone to the museum, we would have never gotten it back. As an extreme measure, we decided to liberate it in secret. And that's why it's here now. Yeah, that's correct. If I lied, I'd soon be found out, and I admit it honestly.
呆れた。こんなところに隠していたなんて。そのせいで私たちを寮に住まわせない気でいたの。
No, I heard you were coming tomorrow, and I was planning on moving it somewhere before then.
どうだか。
Unfortunately, we were still in the middle of a huge typhoon. The only other place we might be able to store a great big glider like this would be the entranceway. However, given the circumstances, we wouldn't want to leave it anywhere so noticeable. Please, you have to keep this a secret. Put both hands together like I'm praying.
私たちの理事長の
Poop, I hit the wrong button again.
孫だってさっき話したわよね。どうして私たちがあんたたちのために祖父を裏切るような真似。ここがいい。姉さん？
Nasa seemed like she was full of determination as she made a statement.
私ここがいいの、ヨルちゃん。聞いてなかったの、姉さん。ここにあるこれは学校から盗み出されたもので。そ れでもね、ここがいいの。ごめんなさい。
Nasa begged her sister Yoru, who seemed to be both scolding her yet astonished at the same
あ
time.
のね、姉さん、そもそもこんなのあったら寝る場所もないじゃない。大丈夫。こうやって。
Nasa laid out her petite body in the gap between the fuselage and the main wings that were leaning against the wall.
私は嫌よ。でも今日はここに泊まっちゃわないと。
The whole building shook and rattled as it was battered by strong winds.
外は台風だよ。かといってここが安全ともあまり思えないけど、なんだか不衛生そうだし。
If it ends like this, our secret will be found out. Our glider is here. So as of today, the two of you are our friends. Let's all get along together. Okay, let's have a round of applause, I say as I forcibly encourage everyone to clap. Everyone looked at my twitching smile with a dubious look on their faces and gave a round of applause.
葵くん、顔が引きつってる。こりゃバレたわね。
よろしくお願いします。ま、適当によろしくね。
態度悪いのゆかさん、あの子超態度悪いわよ。新人教育も兼ねてここはビシッと。
God, he makes a big deal out of it while everyone just replies with a
私らもう慣れてるし。慣れてるの？なんで？
Everyone gives her a sideways look as if to say,
ぶ
well...
っちゃけ小鳥ちゃんはこの10倍くらい態度悪かったもんね。ちゃんと自己紹介してよろしくねっていうだけマシだよね。
Cuddly looks at to me like she's looking for backup. Ditto.
左に同じ。
Wow, that was a long way to say ditto. She's surrounded on all sides by opposing opinions.
何よ、みんなして。私こんなに態度悪くなかったもん。でも部屋はどうするの？だってあの部屋。
Yuka mumbles unintelligibly. We received implicit agreement from the boarders that we could hide the glider in the dorm. And then, they highly valued my achievement of getting the new fridge and understood our feelings as former members of the soaring club, so they turned a blind eye to the whole incident. That's why, supposedly, they've decided to pretend they didn't know it's here. We'll look for another place to store it as quickly as possible. Until then, you two can use my room. Everyone made a face as if to say, is that okay? I don't have many things, so I can easily clear a space, so you can sleep anywhere you like.
じゃあ私の部屋に来ればいいよ。一緒に寝よう。
ちょっとカナ、何バカなこと言ってんの？そんなことさせられるわけないでしょ。
あら、どうして？
それはアギャ、ほら言ってやって。
そこで私に振るのかよ。そりゃああれじゃないっすか。葵がもし不祥事なんぞ起こしたら寮母を辞めなくちゃいけなくなっちゃうんで。
そうそう、それよ。
Everyone says things like, yeah, or that would be a problem for us. Which is why that proposal is rejected. I don't need to say things like proposal rejected, it's not some business discussion. Nasa spoke nervously.
私グライダーがある部屋でも別に構わないですよ。
There's nowhere to lay a futon.
平気です。そのくらい覚悟の上ですから。
Everyone looks at her as if they're saying, what on earth is she talking about? Wait, that's right, her eyes lit up when she was looking at the glider just now. Does she have some sort of emotional attachment to it? For example, she might be some sort of airplane nerd.
私は嫌よ。あんな狭苦しいところで寝たら窒息しちゃう。ヨルちゃん、嫌だったら嫌。絶対に嫌。
Oh, well, you can use my room, is that okay?
はい。
For some reason, she nodded reluctantly. So that's that, everyone. It's just for a little while, so I'll appreciate your cooperation. This is my room.
お邪魔します。へえ。夜ちゃん、夜ちゃん、男の人の部屋だよ。そうね。
Two of them looking nervously around my room.
あ、漫画がこんなにいっぱい。やっぱり男の人って漫画が好きなんですね。
Said Asa, impressed, but all of them were brought here by a geha who had just left them here after reading them, so they're not mine.
お菓子の食べかすが落ちてる。
No, they're not mine either. It's because a geha and Koto have been eating in here. Since the garage is demolished, my room has become our meeting place. That's why there's so many things in here that I have no recollection of. Sorry, I'll clean that up soon. I clear away the trash and put all the unnecessary objects out in the hallway. While I'm doing that, they just idly stand there waiting. I have to take a drink break again. Really? Those two, they've been treating my room like a place to leave all their stuff. After coming and going several times, I see Asa holding the picture frame that was on the desk.
この写真。
I peek over the heads of the two sisters, who have their faces huddled close together. It's pretty easy to do that, because even for girls, they're pretty short. Oh, that photo. And there's the glider and the runway overgrown with weeds. The blue sky stretching out in all directions. The shining white clouds bathed in the sunlight. Then there's our group. It was taken on the day I came back from the last test flight with Hamane. It was a commemorative photo. This is the glider you saw just now, and that's what it looks like when it's all put together. Both of them, especially Asa, looked enthusiastically at the photograph.
いつ撮影したものなんですか？
Around the end of last year's summer vacation, we flew the glider at dawn. Strange clouds called Morning Glory appear, and that's what we were aiming for.
じゃあ、あの時飛んでたのってやっぱり。でも失敗したんでしょ？
How do you know?
さあ、小鳥さんとアゲハさん、葵さんですよね。
She points to the face in the photo one by one.
こちらの綺麗な方は？
The last person in the photo, she points to the girl with a carefree smile like a little kid. That's Amane Mochizuki. Also known as a super repeat student, she already graduated though.
あ、さっき小鳥さんが言ってた人ですね。
Yeah, that's her, the genius who's so smart she forgets she's hungry. I add as I laugh at how strange that is.
伝説の先輩。
Legendary? Well, maybe that's true. Maybe the students of Keifu Academy will continue to tell the story of Amane Mochizuki, the strange senpai, for a long time to come. Just like an urban legend. I narrow my eyes as I smile from the feelings of nostalgia as I look at the photo. Two of them look at me curiously from below. Something happened and the club lost its status, but originally we were members of the soaring club. This photo is the last memorial picture of our club's activities.
もう活動はしないんですか？
Well, we're still kind of continuing them. Now we've gone completely underground. We're not recognized by the school, we carry out our activities in secret so we don't get found out. Asa, are you interested in gliders?
いえ、私はそんな。
She turns bright red as she looks down.
姉さんは空を飛ぶものに興味があるの。昔からね。
I see, and we're planning to fly again soon, so you can come watch if you want. Asa's big round eyes sparkled, and she nodded happily. When the sun went down, the mother of all storms blew outside, so we couldn't go out there and do any repairs. All we could do now was pray that the old dorm could withstand it and wait for the typhoon to pass. Yeah, that girl also seems to be interested in gliders.
そうなんだ。
I was telling Ageha, who is helping make dinner, about the twins. Because it appears like she won't be able to go home tonight. It seems that Ageha will be staying in Koto's room. I asked her if she'd like to come and see us fly next time. Her eyes sparkled and she said, okay. That's great, isn't it?
それでさっきから鼻の下伸ばしてたんだ。かわいいもんね。
No, it's not like
そう
that.
いうのロリコンって言うんでしょ。
Cody, who had been quietly chopping the vegetables, joined the conversation. Idiot, what the hell do you mean? They're only 2 years younger than me, that's not lolicon. Is it? Well, they look like that.
ああいう子がいるんだ。
青いって面倒見がいいから手がかかる子に弱いんだよね。
She says as she looks at Cody from the side. Cody doesn't notice her looking in. She mumbles things like, "That's so cute, isn't it?" while chopping up the cabbage. She couldn't go shopping that night, so we were making okonomiyaki. I don't know what that is from the food we had left over. Anyway, can you guys take back all the manga and other stuff you left in my room? If you don't, I'm gonna throw it out.
あれは貸したんじゃん。ちゃんと読んでよ。マジで面白いんだって。そんでもって熱く語り合おうよ。
Okay, if I have time.
ねえ、ロリコンって具体的に何歳差からを言うの？
Forget about that, just chop the vegetables, will ya? Raging storm shook Flying Fish Manor.
ねえ、本当にここに住むつもりなの？だってグライダーがあったから。運命だよ、きっと。ヨルちゃんもそう思うでしょ。運命なんてナンセンスよ。姉さんって本当にロマンチストよね。じゃあいいもん。私のセンスがヨルちゃんに一生理解。はいはい、どうせ私は女の子っぽくないですよーだ。それにさ、なんだかいいなと思っちゃった。何が？空を目指してみんな幸せそうに笑ってたから。すごい風だね。寝てる間に建物がぺしゃんこに倒壊しちゃうかもね。ヨルちゃん、一緒に寝よう。どうしよっかな。ヨルちゃん。
Well, we haven't seen one of these in a long time. Oh no, I only have enough water for another one drink. The next day, the typhoon had passed and a blue sky spread over Kazagawa.
というわけなので、よろしくお願いします、会長。
Please consider it.
しまーす。
Standing behind Kotori, we bow our heads. This is a fourth-year classroom. Yesterday, we were ordered to go to the student council room, so we decided to take the initiative and go to Kai's classroom. We state the matter frankly. We are making an application form for the revival of the Soaring Club. It was a negotiation to restore the Soaring Club, which lost its status last year.
その件はすでに却下されたはずですよ、ハバネ小鳥さん。
それは前の生徒会の話でしょ。あなたなら違う考えをお持ちなんじゃないかって思ったんだけど。
Title of leader of the Soaring Society isn't just a decoration. For a year, Kotori has been negotiating with Student Council for the revival of the Soaring Club. However, the previous Student Council president had said that I don't think that Tobioka-sensei would allow it. That was a typical example of someone who was afraid to rock the boat. The previous Student Council was dissolved, and in the election held a few days ago, Akali was chosen as a new Student Council president. In her case, she might actually listen to what we had to say, so Kotori finally had grounds for negotiation. Akali was deep in thought as she stared at the application petition for the revival of the club. See, remember when I said that early in the game she's going to be like an antagonist, and then later on she's actually going to help us out? We watched over her with tense expressions. If it isn't officially recognized as a club, there are a few circumstances that could spell trouble for us. First is the issue of the ownership of the glider. That is property of the Soaring Club, so if it becomes a club again, it should be officially recognized as being under our ownership. It was built using club funds, which is why it was taken away by the school, along with its club status. In actuality, over half the funds for the construction were paid by Almine herself. There was also the problem with the club's funds. Currently, we are facing a serious shortage of funds. They said funds so many times. The part said materials come from Agea and Kotei helping out at Anchan's place, but the transport costs for Agea and I to go to the airfield and the cost of the flight training is no joke. Our intention is to use the funds to help cover these costs, even if only by a little. Another thing is the fact that we can't use the school facilities for the manufacturing of the parts. Even if we want to use the school's equipment, they won't give us permission. Everyone just uses it freely, but with Tobioka keeping an eye on us, being found out could cause problems. Lastly, we don't have anywhere to conduct our activities. As a result, we had to occupy the room used by the Kazuto sisters. We can't continue to use the dormitory as our base of operations.
お願いよ、生徒会長。私たちが真面目に活動してたことはあなただって知ってるでしょ。
そうです。慶風学園にとってこれほどふさわしい部活動はないと思いませんか？
Everyone was desperately pleading with her, but
その前に
Glare. Kelly stared at us with a scary expression on her face.
あなたたちに聞きたいことがあったの。倉庫から消えたグライダーの件よ。
Her voice dropped down a tone. That alone was enough to make us cower in fear.
何のことかしら。
Even if we're totally busted, we have no choice but to play dumb. Kai is usually a fair person, but she wouldn't be that flexible. If it was clear that we had taken her away, she would definitely have to take action.
何者かが倉庫に忍び込み、保管してあったグライダーを盗み出したのよ。あんな巨大なもの、一体誰が持ち去ったのかしらね。
The way she said it made it sound like she was implying, I know it was you. It's completely right, though. Thing, but with the glider was a huge miscalculation on our part. We knew that would be a big disadvantage when it came to applying for the restoration of the club, but it couldn't be avoided. Knowing this would happen, we came to her first to negotiate. Could it be some kind of geek? Like an airplane geek? Maybe they really wanted it, regardless of the circumstances. As I desperately try to give a suitable answer, Akali looks towards her.
あなたたちではないと?
Yeah, it wasn't. No way. I answer while choking on my words. My heart feels heavy as Akali's eyes, full of righteousness, shoot a gaze right through me.
いいでしょう。ただし、もし不正な手段を用いていると分かったときは、一切擁護はできないので、注意してくださいね。
Okay. Without thinking, I answered honestly, and again gave me a poke in the ribs. Feels like I was saying, actually, we stole it.
それにしても、来週には博物館に寄贈される手はずだったのに。どうしてこうもいいタイミングで。
Said Akali as she caught a glimpse of her expressions. It seems that she'd like to know about that. About who leaked the information to us. That moment, Masatsugu appeared, calling out in a frivolous voice.
今日の生徒会何時からでしたっけ
？16時からよ、田崎くん。
じゃあそれまで暇ですよね。どっかでお茶でも。なんだお前ら。
Bonehead Masatsugu, who he's only just realized we're
何
here.
やってんだ？
部の復帰申請をしに来たのよ。
So you can just get the hell out of here.
なんだよその態度。俺だって生徒会のメンバーなんだぞ。
Masatsugu sticks his chest out in a patronizing kind of way. And that's right, he's joined the student council this year as its secretary. In response to Masatsugu, Akali glared at him.
どうかしましたか、あっかりさん。
今、大事な話をしていたところです。例のグライダー強奪事件について。ずっと不思議だったんです。どうして博物館に寄贈される直前に盗まれてしまったのか。犯人が一般生徒だと仮定してどうやってその情報を知り得たのか。
どうしてでしょうね。俺バカなんでわかんないや。
Okay, and I look at each other. Isn't there any better way we can try to trick her? Akali seemed convinced by this poor attempt at deceiving her and didn't pursue it any further. For the time being, it's because she didn't find the perpetrator who leaked the information. By the way, this is kind of beside the point, but it looks like Masuga has broke up with his girlfriend, who he was in a band with. And according to him, the reason was because of musical differences. According to Ageya, he got dumped. After that, he met the girl he was destined to be with, an older girl called Akari Kumoi. Then, in order to chase after her, he joined the student council. That's the end of that little side story.
廃部の一件については以前お話しした通りよ。同情的な気分にはなるけれど、どうしてやることもできないわ。
Right after Amane left, it was decided in a staff meeting the club would have its status repealed without any notification, and then garages forcibly taken from us and demolished. This is all under the instruction of Tobioka. Some of the students were against it, but Tobioka went ahead and forced it to be demolished. Reason was that this had been promised from the beginning.
実際、私も納得はしていないのよ。廃部の根拠は単に望月先輩以外に部員がいなかったからというもの。でも実際はあなたたちがいたわ。それなのに先生方の都合で廃部を決定するなんて、これは生徒会自治系の悪質な侵害行為だわ。あの時私が会長だったなら、もう少し抵抗できていたものを。
I really like her voice. I don't know if I mentioned that in the earlier parts. She spoke with her fists clenched and a furrowed brow. She looked genuinely frustrated. She won't forgive those who selfishly ignore the rules, even if they are teachers. So that's what happened. She's the one who, when all is said and done, was working hard to help the soaring club survive by putting pressure on Amane, who had been continuing with the club all by herself, at the time when the club was in danger of being shut down. Yeah, President, the decision to repeal its status should never have been made. This is our big chance to make ourselves heard, but Kai shook her head.
部としての条件を満たせていないからです。まず、部員数の不足。
Now there are only 3 members. To be a club, you need at least 4 members.
次に、活動内容の有効性ですが、これはまあ問題ないでしょう。
So whether or not the activities are suitable for a student club, there's no problem as far as that goes.
有資格者の不在。これは深刻な問題ですね。
I'm a pilot.
パイロットの資格なら葵くんが持ってるわ。
それだけでは足りないでしょ。
As well as the pilot, you also need qualifications for the equipment. Things like gliders can't be administered without qualified personnel. Before Amane had all the necessary qualifications, it wasn't a problem.
最後に、顧問の不在。
Yamanobu Sensei, who had until last year been the advisor, withdrew when the Soaring Club lost its status. He was under close scrutiny from Tobioka and had to deal with a super problem child like Amane Mochizuki. So it's no wonder a third of his hair had gone white, despite still being quite young.
これらの問題が解決できない以上、申請を認めるわけにはいきません。ケチ！ケチ？もし生徒会が認めたとしても、それでは飛岡先生らは認めてくれないでしょうね。
That's one teacher. The way she spoke was quite gentle, but what she really meant was there's no way Tobioka will let that slide if you can't fulfill minimum conditions. In other words, you're saying it's not entirely impossible. Kelly nods.
条件さえクリアできれば、我々生徒会から先生方に掛け合ってみましょう。
With a look on her face that said, "This is what being fair is all about," Akali reassured us. "Thank you very much, President." We bow as we make our way out of the 4th year classroom.
グライダーはくれぐれも見つからないようにすることね。
Okay.
素直な子ね。
As I emphatically reply, Akali treated it as a joke and paid no attention.
お前らマジで盗み出すなんて思ってなかったぞ。
As we step out into the hallway, Masatsugu came straight over to protest.
じゃあどうすると思ったのよ。
そりゃあ
No one who gave us the news that the glider would be donated to a museum was none other than this guy. Seems he found out because it came up in the student council agenda.
盗んだんじゃないわ。返してもらったのよ。だってあれは私たちのものなんですもの。
だからってな、もうちょいやり方ってもんが。
What do you mean? In the past we used to play way more pranks than this with Anchan, didn't we? I guess says yep, and she nods.
やったよね。で怒られたよね。
俺はお前らと違って真人間なんだ。
How much hard work did we put into making that thing? When you think about that, what you did was no big deal.
だろうと思ったから教えてやったんだ。あんま無茶すんなよ。
Yeah, thanks for helping out.
じゃこれでホームルーム終わるな。一丁。
Alright, well, I'm gonna end it there. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Wait, oops, that's not the button.